Right, we are back. We're going to have a little play around today. I've got the new 26 ink alcohol set. Now, what I found is it's kind of a mix between the vibrant ink set, which is the 22 ink set, and the concentrated 18 ink set. So from what I can see is that it's exactly the same as the 18 set, but they've brought over some of the colours from the vibrant 18 ink set and introduced some more. But sadly we've said goodbye to rose red and what was the other one? One of my favourites. It was the ocean blue. But we have a new one, dark indigo. We have forest green, which is new. And I think, was there one more that was brand new? Yellow green, that wasn't part of any of the other sets. And we have a midnight blue, that is a new addition. And I think the magenta was new. We had the dark, but not this one. Now the other ones that have migrated over from the vibrant set is the azure blue, I think I said that right, the emerald green, and I can't even say that one. Is it Suggy Lights? Oh, I can't even say it, but you can read it. Anyway, that's like a red. So we're just going to have a play around with this new set today. Again, everything I use, all the links are in the descriptions. Discount codes for Let's Resin are also in there. And we're going to be using the Let's Resin 1.1. Now, this is one of the old box sets, one of the old batches. If you're using the new batch, I've explained a couple of videos ago what to do with your white to adjust it to get the same results. Now we're going to try some micro flowers, similar to kind of like the flower coasters that I've made. I'm not expecting them to be the same, but we're going to try it on a much smaller scale. Now I've been playing around a lot with flowers recently, and I found that I'm definitely overthinking things. It's not as tricky as I thought, you know, with temperatures. I mean, with these ones, I waited until my resin was 40 degrees. I've realised you don't need to do that now. It's just warm to touch. So I'm going to let my resin sit. I've just mixed it before I started filming, and I'm going to let that sit there for probably about 15 minutes, and then we'll start pouring. See you soon. Right, so it's been about 15 minutes. As you can see, I've put my thermometer in there just to give you an idea. I mean, it's 29 degrees Celsius. I'm not sure what that is in Fahrenheit. You'd have to convert that with Google. So it's fairly new moulds. I haven't used this one yet. I've only used this one a couple of times. I'm going to give it a spray. If you haven't subbed, hit that sub button down there for me. Right, let's clean up my thermometer before we start pouring. Like I said in previous videos, this is a food thermometer, but don't use it again for food. Mrs. Cooper wasn't impressed that I used her food thermometer. I have to buy her another one. Right, so I'm going to get poured out and then we'll start. Right, last minute decision. I've got my resin poured out into my two trays, exactly the same cavities in each one. What I'm going to do is experiment. We're going to do this side with the pigment paste as normal, and then we're going to try doing the same thing but using the Let's Resin C Deeper, the white alcohol ink in this side. So I've only got two small shot glasses, tiny amount, that should be fine. So we're going to start with mixing the pigment paste first. I've just got to make sure I don't mix these up. So we're using the Armour Art White as per my last videos. Just dip your stick in, and then we're just going to mix that into our resin, ready for the piping bag. I've just got to hope that I can get all of this into the bottom of the bag so it's not all over the sides. Otherwise it's going to be a bit of a pain to get out. Right, so what I'm going to do is get my marker, and I'm just going to put a P on that glass so I know what it is, and on this one I'm going to put an L for Let's Resin. So we're going to shake. I put mine in a needle tip bottle just to make it easier, as you all know. And then we're just going to put a few drops. I'm not sure, I've never done it with this before. I'm not really counting. It's kind of the colour we want, not the amount of drops, because it can depend on how much resin you've set aside. But we want like a milky, opaque, I think a bit more. Kind of want it to match the other one. And then what we're going to do is add our alcohol inks and then pour the white over the top. Right, little tip for you when you've got your piping bag in the cup. If you try and get it to seal as much as possible and then draw the bag down, that will cause a vacuum inside the cup, making the piping bag, see how that's changed? It's really kind of solid now, and that will make it easier to pour our white into the bag. So what I'm going to do is do this off camera, label them up so I know which bags are which, and then we'll start. How cute is that? So we really don't need much at all. We're going to snip that really small and then do our detailing in. But as mentioned, this is the pigment paste we're going to use first. So let's pick some colours. So I haven't yet used the Midnight Blue. Well, I haven't used any of the new ones. So we're just going to take you down. And I think I'm going to mix this with some of the yellow green and just see what we get. Yeah, yellow green. What we do is we'll drop our colours first and then we'll come back. Forest green, let's try this one. See how dark it is. It's quite dark. So what I'm going to do is add a yellow green on top just to brighten it out a little bit more. What else should we try? Let's try the dark indigo. It's kind of dropping off the side of the bottle and not the tip. Let's add a bit of red. And on the bottom heart, I've used this colour before from the Vibrant set. It's the azure blue. And then we go with some magenta. See, these haven't spread out that far, so we can always add a bit more colour. Like I said, it's just to play around, see what we get. You can see the resin is already pulling inwards, which is what we want for flowering. It's not all about the temperature, it's about knowing when the resin is ready to start pulling the pigment paste or whatever you're using inwards. What did I put in there? I've mixed my colours up now. That was the Midnight, wasn't it? It's going to be quite dark. And that was the forest green, wasn't it? So what we'll do is just surround that with some more of the green, yellow, green, whatever it's called. And you can see them pulling inwards. And then I think we're going to go with some brighter colours. This is the magenta. And I think we're going to go in again with a yellow green. Hopefully it won't muddy. Right, let's snip our tip. Not so worried about the negative space. Oh, that's really flowing out. I didn't expect it to flow out that fast. I snipped a bit too much off, I think. I remember on the next one not to do that. Doesn't have to be completely tidy. Go any way you want. It's really flowing out. Hopefully it'll work. If not, we might end up with another cloud technique. So now to kind of draw in. I feel I want some more going on in this one, just to give a better middle, and this one maybe a little bit more down here, just bring that out a little bit more. But what we want to see is, we want to see that start spreading. So we're going to try and draw in a flower style look. Mine aren't the best, to be honest with you. Maybe come outwards on these ones. You don't need to apply heat afterwards. A lot of people use heat gun. We don't need to do that. We're just going to swirl that around. Same on this one. And again, another thank you to those who have supported me. We're going to go inwards on these as well. All my new subs, all my existing subs, all my new members, thank you very much. Those who have bought me a coffee since the last video. I've got a, talking about videos, I'm filming one right now, as you can tell. But exciting new collab. It's a 4-way collab coming, hopefully next weekend. Something new, something I've not seen done before. So we're just kind of trying to get it right at the moment. It's quite a tricky thing. Right, and this one I'm going to come in. I'm just hoping these don't blob. If they drift in a lot, you know, and leave some negative space, we can always add a black background. Not worried about that. It's tricky on this one because I can't really see where the white is to be able to kind of drag it out. This one's reminding me of toothpaste. There's the colours. Again, just play around with this, see what you get. But I made the mistake, like I said, of really overthinking this. And wondering, you know, and thinking that I had to have my resin at a certain temperature. I forgot to swirl this one, I think, or did I? Let's do it again. It won't hurt. Yeah, so it's more about knowing when your resin is ready to kind of work with. So let's move over here. I'm not going to go with the exact colours that I used in the other ones. We're just going to play around. I just want to know whether you can get that fanning, you know, that bloom with just the white alcohol ink. It's always good to play around. So that was the red and the yellow green. That was the one I can't pronounce. Or was it? Yeah, it was. I think because I've got some negative space on this one, we're going to go in with a little bit more of the yellow green. And then on this one, in the middle again, I think the emerald green. See if that spreads out, but you can see the way the inks are kind of drawing inwards. Sorry, I had a phone call, I had to kind of wait and pause the video. But you can see, you know, I need to add some more to this because it is drifting in quite a bit. Right, let's go. Might as well do that one whilst we're there with some magenta. And then, what should we go for? Let's go for a red in the middle. Safe colour, it's not going to clash. You can barely see it on camera, but I can see it. Let's go with some more red on these hearts. Go for a red centre. Maybe the dark magenta around the sides. Last one. I don't really want to use the forest green. I think it's too dark for this. I'm going to go in with the azure blue. And then I think yellow green might be a new favourite. I like the lemon yellow normally. This is quite a nice green. So let's snip our nozzle off. Let's try and do it a bit finer this time, so it doesn't run as quick as the last one. Let's try this. It's so dinky. Should really have gone in the same size as the last one, just as a good comparison, but we'll kind of see how it goes. Let's lock my focus. I've blobbed in that one. Hopefully it won't sink. There's a lot of negative space in there. Let's go in with some more. Let's go with some yellow green. Might clash, might not. Let's find out. Yeah, I really should have snipped this a bit wider. There's a negative space in there, but I'm not worried. I'm just having a play around. Yeah, it's kind of squatting out in a bit of a mess. Doesn't look like it's spreading as much as the last lot. I think that's because it's a much finer. I cut the nozzle too thin, maybe. But we'll carry on. Let's see what happens. What I'd do is I'll probably come back in about half an hour and show you if there's been any kind of changes. Always good to come back and see whether they're spreading. Move on to this one. Again, you can do this anywhere you like. Just keeping it fairly simple with the design. And a little swirl in the middle. And with this one, I really like this colour. It's really vibrant. Just draw it outwards. And then a little swirl. The last two, again, I can't really see what I've done in this one because the ink has kind of taken over. I'm just going to guess. Guess and hope it works. Probably not the best shape to do this in. Kind of looks like a starfish now, but we'll see. I had some similar effects with the collaboration with Artisan Cloth, but it's a kind of different way. You can see they're kind of spread out. So we'll be back in about half an hour just to see what's happened. See you soon. Right, it's been about 45 minutes. You can see some of it has bloomed out. It's really tricky to see because obviously the colours are in the way. So time will tell. We'll see you for the demold. Bye for now. Right, let's see what we've got. I'm not holding my hopes up. I think I've locked my focus. I'm still playing around. Oh, so it hasn't fanned out and bloomed. Kind of looks like the cloud technique with a bit of a twist. It's a bit icky. It's a bit icky. Oh, I'm not sure, you know. I will get better. Be interesting to see what that's quite funky, you know, apart from that blob. Be interesting to see what the sea deeper ones are like. I know that's pretty cool. It's not really a flower, but that's a really cool design. It's different. Very different. The toothpastey one. Again, I'm not sure. Yeah, that one's very different. Right. The Let's Resin Sea Deeper. I think the colours are a bit, oh, I don't know. Kind of resembles a flower, but it just hasn't fanned out. I mean, I did it yesterday in a coaster. I can only show you part of it, but you can see it's had that fan. Exactly the same in this, same timing. Must just be the size of the cavities that's making a difference. It's like a flower. Flower power. Oh wow. Some resemblance to a flower there. That definitely reminds me of the cloud technique. Last one. Right, not the results I thought I was going to get, but still some pretty funky pieces. Very different. Very odd. It's like brains. But we'll try again next time. Again, if you haven't subbed, down there, give the video a thumbs up, drop me a comment. I'll see you for the next one. Bye for now.